bit at a time.
What's up, guys?
Why is it that we're always in bed together when you're on and I'm on? People are going to start talking, Ryan.
I know.
2 weeks to get mail. I wonder what that's like.
Oh, I shouldn't complain, should I? That's actually serious. I'm over here.
I'm still waiting for something from Teja from 2023.
That's funny.
It would be funny if I wasn't being serious.
Because I thought April was next month. But May is next month. May comes after April, not the other way around.
It does, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
No, that's not part of it. You can have well organized, or you can be told about things, but you can't have both.
You can't have both, yeah.
You can't have it all, Sam, you know?
14 years today. Today is our 14-year anniversary.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. We both didn't remember until we were at the doctor's office for him this morning. We had to write the date on the form. And then we both went, well, holy shit, happy anniversary, babe. Well, you too.
That's not good, Sav.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I know. We got married on our lunch break.
It's Ivory. Ivory is the gift for 14 years.
Ivory is?
Isn't that illegal?
I thought it was illegal.
How does that work? I don't understand that.
Just go kill an elephant, I guess, and
ivory colored linens or something.
The hell of a way to
very romantic.
Yeah. Oh, and then hold on. That is traditional. Oh, sorry. 14th year is ivory or elephant. That's just what it says. So you can just go kill an elephant and just take the whole thing home. But modern.
I mean, you could give him an empathy elephant card, but I mean, it would make it sound easier to slaughter an elephant, honestly.
You know what's so funny, you guys? You say that, and literally, if I look at my 70s, the first card that I see right there is an empathy elephant.
It was meant to be.
Right? Well, maybe. We'll see if I have another one that he can.
Oh, God.
No, but I just
give him the crooked, off-centered one. Don't give him the grading one.
And what do you, as an educator, what do you feel about Blippi?
Yeah, we weren't a Blippi household either. Like, she watched it every now and then if we came across it. I just don't like the overly crazy talk. It's just like too hyped up. Like, you can get, like, I was a teacher for so long. I know you don't have to be hyped up to get their attention. Like, I had 20 little ones, like 3 to 4 year olds in circle time. And I didn't need to have like a crazy voice to get their attention.
I felt just with a lot of like projects in the air recently, attention, whatever. So I was like yelling a little bit more than usual. I was like, what am I doing? But then I heard someone say, they're like, you know what? I went the other direction. I started whispering to my kids, and I was like, awesome. So I started doing that, and it definitely has helped them out because it's like their dad's not yelling, but it's helped me out too because it's like it completely just grounds me in my moment, and I'm like, all right, to have the wherewithal to whisper, then like I'm paying attention to myself more, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. It definitely has been. It's been a good tool in the past like 5 days. Like things. I was like, where's that checklist of things that they should know, or like certain foods that they should be able to kind of like put together on their own. I'm always kind of curious about that because like, what if we're not here? Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, if I just dropped dead in the apartment and they were here and they couldn't get out the door, like, could they get water? Could they like be able to bathe them? Like, what would they be able to do? So,
but I'm not the only one who thinks about that stuff because I always feel like I'm morbid and there's something wrong with me because I have those things. But
I think we all think about that stuff and sexual stuff and all that stuff. We're just normal. That's what it is.
I love that. I appreciate that because.
And I don't think there is yes, there's lists you can find online, but I feel like it's so individual to you as a parent, what you value, and also for the kid. There are certain things I know Emmy can probably do, but it's not as important to me, so I'm not focusing on those things. I think it really, and also like what kid you have. Like there are certain things she will always do, and she's super independent, and other things she's like, don't even like talk to me about this, mom. You know, like. I think there's no. I think if you go by those lists, you just get disappointed as a parent is like, oh, they should be doing all these things, or like just discouraged. And it's like, my kid, I know how she is and what she's capable of.
Yeah.
And I think if push comes to shove, she can do way more than I probably let her do.
Yeah.
Like, she definitely gets away with way more, I think, just because she know worst case mom will do it.
I think it's a matter of presence. My mum was single mother, so raised even, like, I think they split up when I was 9, shortly after losing my youngest brother to full-term stillbirth. So mum, of course, went to that and the effects of doing that and how that affected her. And essentially, she switched off, and I was 9, so it was essentially me running the household at 9 years old. So I had to rapidly learn how to do everything and look after my 3 younger brothers. And I think that's maybe, in a sense, why I, without even thinking about it, I do more for my own, because I never had anyone to do it for me.
Hey.
But, you know, Eli, he's 13 this year with autism. Last year, I think it was early last year, he sets his body clock wakes up, 7 o'clock on the dot, the kettle's on, he makes a chai or hot chocolate, he makes his own breakfast. If I'm not out of bed by 7:15, he'll start making his own lunch and packing that. And that's a massive step for a kid with autism. From where he was to go, like, what was it? 5 years ago, he couldn't talk, well, barely, to now the independence that he does. And what was it? I was tickling him last night, yesterday afternoon, before we headed home from our other house. And what was I doing? I was reaching over when I was driving and trying to tickle him. And he's gone, for Christ's sake, not a bloody again. For him to say that and actually put everything in context, yell and swear at me in a sense of things, I'm like, we can't get mad at him. If Jesse does it at 7, he knows how to talk, he knows the language, he knows context. Like, yeah, you're going to get a kick up your ass. But I find the biggest one is if you put we use the word neurotypical, you put 2 neurotypical adults in a room next to each other, get them to walk in there, you'd be lucky if you make it 60 seconds before one of them talks to the other. Give them no phone to distract, no distractions. We feel a need and pressure that we have to talk to each other. Autism doesn't work like that at all for most of them. There's no point saying something if there's no question to be answered. There's no, to them it feels like, to me it does always feel like, Eli, you'll get always a straight, direct line of thought with him. A sentence, even now at 12 going 13, he started year 7. To get a full sentence out of him in a conversation is rare, even now.
Yeah.
His vocabulary is massive. He can read, write, sing, talk, incredible. But he has no purpose. And when you sort of sit back and reflect on it, you're just like, he's right. Realistically, there's, there is no reason to.
I was recently in a conversation with someone. I was in a conversation with like 4 people recently, and the conversation went to weather like really quickly. And everyone in this kind of, like, group of people, like, very intelligent, like, very well lived, right? And like the ceiling for the conversation was so high, like we could have gone anywhere, but all of us like fell into the conversation about weather, and I was like, whoa, what are we doing? Like, why are we talking about weather right now? But it is really hard, I think, in some moments, especially when I think you have like, people that are thinking about so many different things and taking on so many things at once, to actually kind of like come to a consensus on what exactly they're going to end up talking about. I know it just sounds like adulting is hard. Sometimes it is for me, but I hear that. I don't know. I definitely agree with it. Sometimes my biggest nightmare is living in a world where like small talk is just like the norm. And that place is also called Staten Island, but it's like it's but I can say that my wife's from Staten Island, but yeah, I don't know. I agree with it to a point.
See, we should be more like kids. Ryan, check them on your shoes. They're so fast. They jump so high. They're so fast. Like, you should try. You should get these shoes. They're so fast. No one asks me how fast my shoes are. No one says, Nice shoes. How high do they jump?
What
We don't
favorite,
give a shit about the important things, do we, anymore?
what your favorite dinosaur is? You know how long
That's right.
Brachiosaurus.
What?
Pterodactyl.
Brachiosaurus.
Why do you guys all have a dinosaur ready to go? I feel so left out right now.
You don't have a. What's your favorite dinosaur on?
Velociraptor. For me.
That's great. I don't know. I feel like my mind goes to like T-Rex right away, and it's just so boring. It would have been it.
I love Velociraptor. They're highly intelligent,
That's
cunning, smart. See, she gets it.
But I agree with the fact of like small talk. I like hate it. Like if I'm in a group like right now, there's something I know I can talk about. If it's parenting or VeeFriends, I have topics. But if I go somewhere and I don't know the people, I say nothing. Like I just feel like there's nothing I could say that's like important right now. Like, do they even want to know what I have to talk? It's like tell them. So I rather not say anything than just say something that's so unimportant and just wasting space kind of thing. You know, it's like
that, or I know because I feel the exact same way, Anne. And I don't know if this is just my my neurodivergent side, but sometimes I'm just like, I'd rather just say something completely off the wall, not offensive, but off the wall, and just like get the reaction to start the conversation in a different way. Just like, I did not like the conversation. We're just gonna go this direction right now.
That's my biggest fear, to be honest, for VCon. To like be so excited to see everybody, and then I'm there and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like I have nothing to say. Like, can we just all bring boxes and have something to talk about?
You know what it is? Games. You will just need games. I feel like if there are just games everywhere, then you can always just turn back to the game. Yard games, card games, if it's CNC play. I've always loved like drinking games at parties. So playing because it was like at a party, you just go back to the drinking game. Then you just always get so drunk, and then it was just hard to keep going. But yeah, just games. Just like keep me busy, keep me competitive. And you're competitive, so that's what it would have to be. And maybe we just need to make this a little bit more normal. Is like when a conversation goes south, like just a game has to come out. You can just like pull it out. You know what? There's I had a friend one time that did you know, on your phone you can just pull it up, but it's like what's up?
Yes.
You know? And my friend, he always had like such good timing on these things. Like he would know when the conversation was starting to go, and he'd like pull it out, but like everyone gets involved right away. And he just has like one of those personalities that's like incredibly like inviting and electric and like, you know, everything all together. But like the guy always knew how to like pull the game out and then like just like keep the conversation going. Then that would die down, like the next thing would come out. So he's jealous of that.
We have this game that played with Emmy. It's actually like a cognitive behavior therapy game for kids, but it has cards with like would you rather.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I should just keep those cards in my pocket, and every time there's nothing to do, it's like, would you rather? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna bring those cards.
I feel like I'd be totally down for that. If there was someone in my life that just did that, I'd be like, I love that person. I needed that.
I'm totally gonna bring the cards now.
I hear everybody talking a lot about mental health and helping each other and filling each other's, you know, collections and stuff like that. And that's all great and dandy. And I think it's awesome. To me, community always, there's something more to the community than just helping each other out with these small things. And really what it is finding the underlining details of something bigger and more important. And where I have my passion is through people and through fitness. So that's kind of where I like to have my medium of meeting people and figuring out the underlining importance of certain issues and going through fitness and working out and figuring out our problems through movement rather than through I guess through other issues. So yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's more and more of that in the community. I mean, I'm still fresh and I'm new to the whole community, but I feel like if it's Ryan Turner right now putting out like a lot of the food stuff that he's doing with the kids, or if it's like there's some other people I feel like who have started kind of talking about fitness but haven't done really anything yet, or if it's VeeFriends Sessions who does like the Thursday evenings now. with just community. I feel like everybody's starting to branch out more. We're all connected through the cards or through VeeFriends in general, and everybody's kind of trying to find their way. How can I contribute with what I'm good at or what I'm passionate about to the community? And I really love that aspect, that we're branching out to more than just the cards, because at some point you can only buy so much, like until it gets, you have everything or you spend too much money. And now it's really building that. What are you good at? What can you bring to me? And what can I bring to you? And I feel like I really love that about the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all feed off of each other, and honestly, a lot of this is a contribution to a lot of the people within the VeeFriends community. It's getting back into a routine, or trying something new, or getting outside of your comfort zone. And I know for me specifically, Ryan Turner was a huge help in the V-Dads community, and there's that group of gentlemen that have come together to be vulnerable, express certain situations in their lives, and how we can deal with them and cope with them. And it's nice to hear that there's other people out there going through some of the same situations, and knowing that you're not the only one out there. But yeah, those guys have been extremely supportive, and for getting me my business jumping up started. And then I know with my first VeeFriends session with him, it was kind of like going through counseling. It was really like therapy for an hour and a half. He's very, very good at giving great questions and guiding and directing and navigating. And he kind of is able to tell a story through asking questions and allowing the other person to do their thing. So that was extremely helpful for me, I know. And it's been great to have other people in the community to assist in however they've been able to. I think I just saw Keith on the chat a little bit. I can't see any of the chat here on my TV or screen or anything like that, but he was on earlier. But he's one of the gentlemen that I've connected with over the last few weeks, and I think we've helped each other stay accountable on me getting my business up and running, and for him getting up and running and getting moving. And we've talked about specific goals that he's got, and I've talked about specific goals that I've got. And so for the last 2.5 weeks, we've been working with each other, and it's been great.
Awesome.
Just to not hold somebody accountable, but to hear their story and hear them grow and hear the progress that they're making. And I won't share any of the specific details, but he's getting phenomenal results. And the reason he's doing such a good job is because he's taking action, and he's looking at the future and going, okay, how am I going to attack tomorrow? And we feed off of each other. And sometimes it takes a little bit of positivity just to get yourself to feed off of it. And I think that's what this community is really, really good at. Of course, we talked a lot about deep issues and some stories that are really, really deep. But at the end of the day, we're always talking about positivity and accountability and how we can grow as a community. And I think that there's a certain point where we just take that and we just go and we keep flourishing. And it's contagious. That's what it is. So yeah,
it's funny. I just read in a book. It's a therapist wrote that book, and they said a therapist has to be really good between having empathy, but also encouraging accountability. And I feel like that's what this community is too. Like, we're very empathetic, and like if somebody has a rough day or something, you're always there for them, but still being honest and holding them accountable. Like, is this something you can change or you can't? If you can't, let it go. Nothing you can do about it. Or like, if it's something you can change, let's do something. Like, do you need help with something? So I feel like this community is really good at finding that, almost like a therapist, finding that balance of like, I totally understand your situation, but here's also what you can do about. Like, don't just sit in that feeling and like just live in it. Take that feeling and use it to propel you forward to do something with it. You know?
Amen. Absolutely. Yep. And hopefully that's what Saturdays are going to become, the 5-5-5-5 workout. I even chatted about this with Keith a little bit earlier, Casey, and I love that everybody's talking about vulnerable things and they're getting deep and sharing their stories and stuff like that. On the other account, just like you were just talking, it's a fine line of figuring out how to keep people accountable, control the things that you can control, ignore everything else. And for me, the hardest part about that is my passion is seeing other people and their well-being. And so when I start to communicate with you and I see you face to face and I start to see other people, whether I'm on the one side of the live stream or I'm face to face, you get invested, whether it's time, money, you get invested in those people. And slowly but surely that community becomes part of you or part of your family and so on and so forth. And so that's kind of where this Saturdays are coming out is there is a fine balance between me wanting to hold people accountable, but also giving them an outlet and a positive structure of cool, like let's make some changes. Because let's be real, the physical and mental can be sometimes just as difficult. And I think a lot of people are talking about the mental side of things, but they're not willing to put in any physical effort. And to me, they can be really, really just like a yin and a yang almost. A lot of the times I won't solve any of my problems until I go out and get movement, until I can clear my head, until I have some blood flow through my body, until I get those endorphins popping in through my head and where I feel jazz and I feel on a different level. But if I'm stuck in this yuck constantly and you just feed off of it. I'd rather be feeding off of that contagious happiness rather than the contagious yuck.
And I feel like it's good too to have this community because I feel like it's almost there's almost three parts to it. I feel like it's the mental part, then there's food, and then there is movement. And I feel like these three parts play so much into how you feel personally. If you let any of these three things go, like all the other ones will slip too. So I feel like it's good to have different community members who can help you with different things that you can kind of get a well-rounded idea about it, but in a fun way. Like none of it seems like, hey, you should be doing this, and if you don't, it's bad. It's all like, let's do something fun together. Let's have this challenge together, or here's a good recipe, or like, let's do this quick workout together. It's just everybody's trying to find creative ways to get people to do what we all know that it's good for us to eat healthy and like work out. We just don't like doing it. But like, I really like the idea of you coming on Saturdays and just, again, having this community feel and feeling like there's accountability because other people are there, but it's also just a fun thing to be together with others again.
That's
like it's just so much easier.
Yeah. I figure we all struggle opening up packs and all these things, and why not struggle while moving around? We talk about every other type of struggle, but this is just a different way for us to outreach and to hold each other accountable and to have fun doing it. We talk about it a lot. Oh, when we get together at VCon or when we get together at the tech.
Do you love being a stay-at-home dad? Honesty.
Yes, but it's very, very challenging. I want to sit here and I could go down the blah, but there's no need to. It's yes, every parent has its challenges, but yeah, it's awesome when you know that you have a relationship with your kids that is genuine, and that you're their safe zone and their comfort. Like what society says you should be as a man, and what you're doing as the father and the role that you're providing in the household. Sometimes those can clash, and I think that's the most difficult thing, is kind of just pushing out all the.
Like, as much as I love being with her, but it's hard when you're constantly on, because you there's no break. It's not like when you go to the job, you can talk to coworkers and you can have a break in between. You have a lunch break. It's like you have none of that. Like, you are on from the moment they're awake to the moment they're asleep. And then sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night, and then you're still kind of on, and you do all the things. And I feel like as they get older too, they want different types of attention and want to play. Like, I feel like it was almost easier when she was a toddler, because she just would play and I could just be there and she was fine. Whereas now she's 7 and she wants to be like with me and play with me certain ways, and I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't want to play. I can't play that way. It's just not me. I love being with her, but it also takes so much out of you because you're raising another human being who just has other ideas than you have. Especially now with 7, she has a lot of ideas how her life should be, and that sometimes clashes with how I think her life should be. But I think that's part of it too. Like, I think on the one hand, I'm her mom and her best friend, but also there's plenty of times where there's a sign on the door, no moms allowed, because I said no to something that she wanted to do. It's like, that's part of it too, you know?
Got in like 1 or 2 packs, and it was kind of exciting. I was really into more of the community than anything and everything. That led me to buy a box, and I held on to it for about a month and a half until my son one night convinced me, like, "Hey, let's go ahead and open the box. You're not going to
Mhm.
spend any more money." It's like, all right, fine. Heck, I see everybody's opening packs, and this is so much fun. And so we went ahead and we videotaped us opening up a box, and bang, we pulled a very rare. We're like, okay, cool. This is exciting. Open up 2 more packs. Bang, we pulled an epic. We're like, wow, okay, this is really, really exciting. Pulled 2 more packs. Bang, my son's just like, that's a rainbow. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, that's a rainbow. I saw it. That's a rainbow. And my son knew immediately before I had any idea. And so anyways, we went to the card, and bang, it was right there. 1 of 1 auto intuitive iguana. And so I'm thinking at that point, sweet. I got, the 3 foils off to the side. That leaves me 49 cards. Plus I've probably got like 2 or 3 other packs from Fanatics. So I'm, 50, 60 cards into this. And what do you know, Soggy sends me his little spreadsheet that everybody in the world has. I think I sent it to you as well. And, you get the spreadsheet and you start putting in a number, and so you start seeing a couple more and more and more, and damn it, start going for it. So anyways, long story short, I went ahead and started collecting and went for a whole set. I'm not yet at the set, but I'm pretty close. I think I want to say 13 cards away, something like that, including the gift goat.
Let's do it. Why not?
Do you see?
Okay, so we're not having glare on there. Oh, like first pack, second card.
Oh,
Ooh.
bang! Look at that.
They had mystery packs, and one of the mystery packs had the wizard.
Oh, bang!
And
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
it took me 4 packs, but
Of course, Anne got
it. Of course, and got the wizard. That's the right person to say that.
No, I like when you're taking the flack off of me, so that I'm not getting stuff anymore. Like my little sister jumped on the last Fanatic stream, and so she got.
Oh yes, wasn't she the other waffles or something like that?
Yeah, she's the other waffles, and
that was amazing.
She's such a dork. She's a big board game nerd. Her and her husband have a ton of board games, and I give them crap for it. But what I think she appreciated is her board game community. She sees my VeeFriends community, and she's like, "Oh, you get it. You just make fun of me because you're my big brother, but like you understand what I like." And I'm like, "Yeah." So she dove in, but I spent the last 3 hours with my mom trying to explain the VeeFriends cards and values, because we were going through eBay on the phone with each other. She's like, "Why the hell is this yellow card more expensive than that brown card, even though it's shiny?" I'm like, "Mom, what about these sticker things? Like, you just stick them on things and it's worth." I'm like, "All right, can we talk in person, please?" And then all of a sudden, 3 hours later, like we're talking about, I mean, and we all need those moments with like friends and family and parents. But I was like, "Mom, there's too much to wrap your head around because it doesn't make sense. But I love the people, and that's what makes it worth it."
I think that's the thing too. That I think that's where you can't really describe VeeFriends, because it's more than just the cards.
Yeah.
Like it might have brought you in, but then it's like the community feel. Like when I talk about it, it's like it's just such a fun community of different people who like come from all walks of life, from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. Like there's just something about it.
I mean, Brian and I connected pretty early when he joined, and like, who would have thought that we had the volleyball connection like right off the bat? So we had a mutual interest, and if we didn't have VeeFriends, would we have ever crossed paths? Probably not, unless you want to hang out in Wisconsin for some reason, which I don't know why you would. I don't know if you guys saw the stream where Rips and Courtney told me that Gary was gifting me the Gift Goat NFT.
That was so amazing.
I wasn't on that one, but I saw it.
Yeah, so like stuff like that is people that don't know me know what that like meant to me right off the bat, and the fact that I can go to Gary and say, hey, I want to buy or trade for this, and he's basically like, no, screw you, I'm just going to give it to you, but you have to wait a month and we're just going to surprise you. It's like, and then you have a ton of people that are like, that's amazing, I know what this means, and other people are like, that fucking waffle, he wins again, without knowing what's behind it. But like, where else can you find like that type of community? Like, I don't have that big into sports, and even teams I played on, like, they don't care in that regard. They care about themselves. And this community is centered on everybody else around us, which is special.
And even like brand new people. I remember my first stream on Fanatics. I had no idea what was happening. Like, I just joined because I wanted to get a pack, and somebody had said on the Twitch stream of Gary's Twitch stream, go to Fanatics, there's an app, and then there you can buy packs. And I was like, okay, so I joined on a Friday, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here, like which button to push, but like Ribs and Conman just explained everything, and then all of a sudden, Ribs said they were supposed to do, or they were wanting to do a giveaway for a pack, and then they asked the chat, do you guys want this to be a giveaway or just give it to Anne? And the entire chat all of a sudden just wrote Anne. Like, and I was like, what is going on here? These people don't know me. They've never heard of me. They don't know who I am. Yep. And that was just such a like overwhelming moment of like, what is this place? It's like you were like in like a chat room, you're online, and online is usually, you know, can be kind of a nasty place sometimes. And like all these people who have never met you, who are losing out on a pack, who could potentially be a one-on-one in there, just like, no, give it to her. We don't know this woman, but just give it to her. And I was just like, what's happening here?
It was a trap.
After another, yeah, it was a trap. Yes,
trying to spend her money,
onboarding more people.
We got her. Give her a one of one or two, and now she's in for life. Just
it did work for sure.
No, but mine's the same. I mean, kind of similar with that. I mean, I bought my first box on Fanatics. I didn't buy it on Fanatics. I bought it off eBay live during the show, and Gary was going to buy it, and I bought it before him. So, like, I have the clip of him calling me a fucking asshole. Like, how could you buy that before me? So that was, like, my start. And then you go from doing a moment like that, and then when I didn't sell him back the signed gibbets, he gave me all the slabs. And then when I got my bubblegum black hat, like all those little moments that you don't know, it's not meaningful. And all of a sudden now you have, I mean, Rips gifted you all those minis during the live stream. And then you have, now it's, oh, Anne wins again. So now it's finally not Soggy, it's somebody else. Thank you. But like all those build up where in the moment it's nothing and you're confused, but then you look back at it a month, 2 months. For me, it's going on 6 months later. You're like, damn, like one decision to click into a Fanatics live stream created all of this.
I'm gaining more mentally for myself during these times at this moment than I expected, and more than I would be putting financially into anything else to try to get what I'm getting out of it. You know, I'm convinced that there's certain people put in your life at a certain time in a certain place for it's all purposeful, right? And there's a reason why we're all connecting here. We're all searching for something. We're all looking to fulfill a need, and we're all finding the ability to fill those needs and to fulfill some of those needs and fill those needs for other people in the meantime. And it's rewarding. It's extremely rewarding. No doubt about that. There is no community that I've experienced like it. Like Soggy said, there's no sport community that I've experienced that's been like this. Just random strangers that want nothing but pure success for you and are willing to get you jump started in the community. So it's really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is work's been fun, and we're transitioning into having other people, for me, take responsibility off of my shoulders, but I don't like doing that because I'm better than them and I can do it quicker and in the right way. So, but at the same time, it's driving myself crazy, and I wouldn't have learned or forced myself to be better with actually putting myself first without I mean, I've listened to Gary for a while now, his preachings, but then the community, and then people kind of hit it home again and again, and take care of yourself and checking in because they didn't see you in a stream for 2 days. It's like, who the hell does that? And like, I have friends that I haven't talked to in months that were like good friends. And then this community, I missed 2 streams. Hey man, where you at? I'm like, I'm sleeping. That's what that's where I'm at. But thank you. And it makes you a better person.
I think that's the only weird side of it is that there was a disconnect between my real world friends and all of you guys because they don't understand it.
Oh,
So it's
100%.
really hard to like connect these two, or like if I see them, like I want to talk about all the funny things that happen on the stream and like the card I pulled, and they're like, you just can't. Like it doesn't make sense to them. So it's almost like you have like 2 different lives you're living at the same time, and you're getting different things from different people, you know?
100%. When I flew down to CGC with my black hat, I told some of my buddies, and they're like, "Oh, it's great. You're going to Florida for what?" I was like, I'm just going to Florida. Like, I don't." And they're like, "No, what is this?" I'm like, "Well, do you know Gary V, like VeeFriends?" And they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I was like, Don't worry about it. I'm going to Florida, and I'm not paying for it. That's all you need to know." But a few have like put interest and like looked into it a little bit, but I mean, it's a weird thing, right? It's a whole bunch of cards with animals and character traits that mean more than just that piece of cardboard, but it takes a special person to want to dive into it. Same thing with any collectible, but like this is different. And it's so new. We're super early in being in, like, all of us are going to be considered as the OGs in 5-10 years when this gets even bigger and you can buy it at Walmart. So it'll be cool to kind of see that. And then 10 years from now, your buddy who thought it was weird is like, "Man, I just bought my first pack." I'm like, "Well, should have got it 10 years ago, pal. Could have got you some good ones." But no,
That's definitely really neat. Like when I just talk to people like VeeFriends, and I'm like, "Okay, do you know Gary V?" And when they say no, I'm like, I don't even know. Like, it doesn't even make sense now. Like, I don't even like. You have to, I think, kind of understand Gary and his whole content to understand what VeeFriends is meant to be, in the like right now and in the long run. So I feel like as soon as they tell me like they don't know who Gary V is, and I'm like, okay, I sent you a link.
Yeah, read up, do your homework.
Yeah.
So how long have you like? And if I missed this, oops, my bad. I'm curious anyways, but how long have you followed Gary and like had him in your sights?
I want to say end of 2021. So I think December 2021, January 22, I want to say, is really when I started getting to know him. That's when I quit my job and started listening to podcasts and stuff like that. And that he kind of came up. So I've been around and I've seen the whole NFT and everything, like the whole start of it, but I didn't really join in. It was just like I didn't know enough about it.
Yeah.
And kind of took a break from a lot of like online stuff last year, and then started watching again beginning of this year. And then he started streaming on Twitch, and I think the second Twitch stream he did podcast with friends, and I put one of my questions in, and they answered it. That was for me like the sign, like, yeah, and get your shit together.
Yeah.
And that's when I joined Fanatics and like just went in hard.
No, for sure. I mean, for me, I mean, if you listen to with Rob, you've heard it before, but like I followed Gary like before COVID. Just I'm very blunt to a fault and crass at times, so like I embody that, and he kind of made it okay to be that way because you're just I'm always speaking my truth, and if you like it, great. If you don't, that sucks. Like I won't see you next week, so I'm not going to worry about it. But during COVID is when I like followed him more with the flip life because I got let go due to an audit, and the easiest way to pay off the audit to the lovely government is get rid of someone's salary. So I got let go, but it was during COVID, so I was making I think at that time, because I was let go, it was like $900 a week off of unemployment. So like I was making more money being unemployed and then flipping things from like Goodwill and what I had at my house. So like I paid off my car, I was debt free without a job, which was backwards to me. And then I got my job back, and then I left the community right before book games like came out. So like I saw this book and I was like, why the hell would I want 12? Like this doesn't make any sense to me. Like I flipped my way back into a full-time job. I don't need this. So thank you. I'll follow you sometime later. And then it kind of has been since then. I've always followed him. I have his Mug Life like t-shirts, and I still flip stuff. My basement's like a flip station. But yeah, it was just October for me of last year, and I got this weird feeling of I'm gonna go see what this stuff is. I bought my first box. He called me an asshole, and I'm like, I'm in, sold. Like that's all it took. And now it's been, I mean, yeah, it was October. I think it was October 5th or 6th was my first stream, and it's been every stream since I've at least tuned in or listened to. Same thing with Josh, and then To the Moon. I try to at least be there for a moment. They exist within the community, because then when you're not, people genuinely care, which is kind of cool. But so yeah, it's not even a year long, but I'm here. But it's being comfortable, being uncomfortable is what we're trying to do. So I love that you did this for yourself though, and actually made a page. I haven't done it, so a lot of props to you for making it happen. Miss one of one over there.
It's just like, I'm not against being in front of the camera, but it's easier for me if I film something, I can see how it looks, how the sound is, and then I can edit it if I want to and put it out.
Oh.
I'm okay with that. But like the live thing, like that's it. You, especially here, like you don't know, like there's apparently seven people watching. I have no idea who that is. That's just like a weird feeling a little bit. Like there's just like people watching. Like, okay, come and say hi in the chat. But it's interesting to be on this side versus just be part of the chat and watch some. I think you appreciate the people who are doing it a little bit more, like how hard it actually is to do these things, but also just putting yourself out there. It's not that bad. You're just talking to people and others are watching. It's not different as if we would sit in a bar right now and like the table next to us would listen to us. Like it wouldn't be, it's just a different medium. But just getting over the hump of like, it's okay. Like, yeah, sometimes we're gonna say things we're like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or
whoops.
But,
no, that you saying that when I gifted Chelsea the Caterpillar VF2, the number of times I recorded that is embarrassing, because I would record it, play it back, and I'm like, no, sounded like a fool. Record it. No, my eye was looking weird. No, my pepper was being a doofus. And I'm just like, I think I had it like 15 times recorded until I finally just said, screw it. There's they're streaming in 5 minutes. I need to post this. And then just finally did it, because I'm the same way. But it's just like, no, it's on that. It's raw. It's real. There's been a lot of great moments. And then I look back and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, you just sound like a fool. And then I just kind of learned to say, fuck it, and just roll with it. I mean, me, Fro, and like Tom have had so many moments of, you guys are a bunch of fools on the screen. And we're like, yep, you're still coming back, aren't you? Like, you're here for the show. So have fun with it. Still,
that's the thing, because by the next day, it's all forgotten again. Like, unless somebody puts a clip out, then it's for another day. But then, like,
who clips
the next stream is on, and I don't know who does. Sorry.
If I'm Rips and VeeFriends, I'm looking at To the Moon and Courage and thanking them a lot, because
100%.
honestly, if it's not for Courage and To the Moon, the spirit of the opening and the rush of it and the excitement of it and the community behind it stops in the fanatics, and that's kind of fabricated.
Yeah, there's no soggy waffles without To the Moon, in all honesty. Like,
that's right.
Literally, like, Jay drew my stupid PFP waffle. Like, he made that and sent it to me. Like, I had my Series 1 box with them. I got to go to Florida with them. Like, I've done so much with there is no me. I'm not on a stream if I don't have those guys. And yeah, they didn't invent it, but they gave me a voice and a platform to be me and be comfortable with a new community. And I think Rips and them, they appreciate it, and they do a lot behind the scenes that we don't get to see, judging from conversations. But to your point, maybe it should be more vocal and obvious with what they're doing. Because I mean, look at it. We're sitting up, and now it's 1 o'clock for me on a stream, talking with people that we met on other streams with VeeFriends. Like, it's bigger than just
with past the cards collecting almost stops after Fanatics, because what happens to all those newbies that want more, like you said, that aren't willing and wanting to go spend that $40? You better thank Courage right now, VeeFriends, because he's the one who's coming up with all these fucking creative ass games just to keep this wheel rolling and that turning. And he's grabbing a new person here and another person here, and same thing with To the Moon. And just through their creativity and their passion for this, and and bringing on this West Coast now live stream that we have every single week, right? Okay. But now we have all these things going on, right? It's awesome. It's cool to see how much they're making this grow, because if it's not them, a lot of this dies. I think a lot of it dies. A lot of the trading dies. A lot of the communicating and talking of it dies. A lot of the just people enjoy sitting around and bullshitting with each other, and then it turns into this. That's the beauty of it. And if that bullshit's not going on, then we lose this.
Also, the differences between like To the Moon and Courage and everything is you can be on stream with them. So when they're opening your box, people see your live reaction. It's not just being in the chat. Like Fanatics, we're just in the chat. I love Fanatics and I love the guys, but it's very one-sided. You don't see the reaction of everybody besides what they're writing in the stream, and it's different.
Yeah, it adds a different level, and also like a connection, because like you open your, like when you open your first box live on stream, we could see you reacting live to being like, ooh, look what I just got. Which is like with my Series 1 box, like they made me go. I told them no. Like I didn't want to be on stream, and they're like, no, you're gonna do this. You're going to enjoy it. Like, sucks to suck, man. Like, come on live stream. But like it creates those extra moments. And I saw like Poke Scootin', so Scott and Fro, like they stayed on till 5 a.m. after To the Moon canceled. Like they turned off their stream, stayed in StreamYard, and stayed up for another 4 hours. Like, what?
That's wild.
Both of them are crazy. So like part of it's just them being crazy, but like that doesn't happen without Josh, Tom, Jay, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
And like Rob with his trivia night coming up, and then the late like Classic Dale doesn't happen without those streams. But like opening boxes are still fun. But like there's 2 Black Hat boxes there and on my top shelf. Like those are sealed, and then I have 4 factory sealed ones coming up, and I'm done. I'm gonna hold them, see what happens in the long run, but just focus on like those individual things. Like when Nath gets another Falcon, then it's going to grade well, I'll buy it instead of calling him an asshole. But I thought that was out of admiration, but must be the different time zones came off. But I think I gotta leave. This guy doesn't like me anymore.
Hello, sweetheart.
You're talking to me or Ann?
You. Who else are we talking to?
I wasn't sure if you and Ann got that close yet where you could call her sweetheart.
No.
There we go. There we go.
What do you reckon, guys?
I mean, you can't go wrong with a 9. That's always like my minimums that I want.
10?
10.
Ooh, boom.
You just don't miss, do you?
Screw the waffle. Listen to Ann.
1 of 1 baboon.
No, I know it's a 1 of 1 because you pulled it, so we knew that.
By you hesitating to say what character it was, you clearly have a lot.
It's not graded yet.
Ben, go to bed.
I will.
It's like,
You're at that point of just shutting down and falling asleep with your eyes open. I can see it.
It's like, you assholes keeping me up for so long.